Hey, welcome back. Yeah, in this class, I want to explain about components and componentization in Next.js. We already have this file which we used in the last class up and running. So now, what is components? A component is simply a JavaScript file. Okay, a JavaScript file that is being exported is you can use it as a component. For example, this is a component. This thing showing here in pages and layout.js is a component. Okay. So, and that is what I have rendering on my page here, which reads this, which restores this is a layout component, this is a page component. Okay. So you can see in the layout components, I have that text there. This is a layout component. The page component, I have that. This is a page component. So one important thing about layout components is that anything that you put in layout components is going to appear in every other component within the very folder with that component exists. But this layout component I have here is referred to as the root component because that is the component of my root layouts. And that is the only component that is expected to have the HTML tag and also the body elements. Okay. So the children here specify that is allowed to see every other component that is after it, like the page components or any other components that I put after. All right. Okay, so let's build this. All right, so I go to my app components and I'm going to come inside this app and create a folder. Okay. Now first one, I'm going to create a folder. Let's rename this our components that this is let me even remove this guy here. So once I remove it, the children is showing, which is actually this is a page component. Okay, that is because the page layout is being seen due to these children here. So if I comment out these children, I'm not going to see anything on my browser. Okay, because I did not allow you to see the children. So once the children are there, I should be able to see this is a page component. All right, so let's create a component. Okay, so if I have a component, like I create a new file inside my page.js, maybe I call that component navbar. So it's more advisable that if I'm creating a component that is not capital, that is not page component or layout component or error components or loading components, every other component I'm creating should start with capital letters so that I'll be able to export it. Okay. So I have navbar.jsx. Okay. So in navbar.jsx, I'll simply type RFC. So this RFC is coming because in my extensions, I have, you go to the extensions column in case it's not working for you. You go to extensions column and type ES7. I will actually see where it's coming from. I have this here. That is actually where this is coming from. It is this extension here, ES7 plus reflective. So it makes it easy for you to be able to type functional components. Otherwise, these things are what you can easily type anyway. So if I say RFC, you're going to pick that out and you can see that it has given it in dot navbar. All right. So this is just a function. I can ignore this first line, actually. So it's not even necessary to be importing React in React applications anymore. Okay, so from here you can see that this is your normal folder. You can see that this is your normal this is your normal function, okay? Function, navbar, and this returning this, right? So that is simply that is just a basic function. The only thing that is extra here is this export default. So this export default is what makes it possible for me to use these components in another place. This export default can be here or it can come after this. You can say export default, export default navbar. So you can simply have it here. It still works, okay? So if I have it, that is export it default as navbar. So if I want to use this components in any other component, let's say I want it to appear on my layout component, I can simply come here, then I will put my angle parenthesis and I start typing nav. So once I start typing, I'll actually see this. Okay, this one that is coming from dot slash this, so that is, I simply click on it. Once I do that, okay, let me just close this, that is fine. So once I do that, I'll notice something that it has imported navbar from this. So meaning that if I go to my browser, I can actually see that navbar text showing there. All right, so I can go back to the navbar.js, maybe to edit this text here, and I can say this is just an abbreviation. This is just an abbreviation, and definitely I will have that text appearing there. Okay. So because I've put it on the layout, or I exported it into another component. Let's say I go and export it inside page components, of which I can also do that. Let's say I come here and I exported it. Okay, I select it. You can see it has also imported it here. That's it. That means this is a navigation bar will appear or 2 times, because one is coming from the layout and one is coming from the page.js. Okay, but we need not to be doing this, so I have to remove this. So I have to remove this import here. I don't really need this one. I'll just see. Okay. So let's create a nav bar. So I'll have my nav. Let's say I want to build on Nigeria, I want to create something on Nigeria geopolitical zones. So let's say, let me say Nigeria geo zones. Okay. I can give it a description. Let's say geopolitical zones. So, and I can come here. Let's say I come to my navbar and maybe I have the text here. I can actually name it zones to Nigeria. Zones Nigeria. Okay, so that's fine. So I should have zones in Nigeria. This is zones in Nigeria showing me here. And I will go and create that in navbar. So coming to my navigation bar, I can create a list. So because I want it to be a link, right? So I can actually create, okay, let me just create a list. Create a list, can say URL greater than li, times 6 because there are 6 of them. Okay, so I can say southwest, southeast, south, north central, northeast, and northwest. So that is what I will have now. Geopolitical zones in Nigeria. I'll show you. Now, to create the components, I'm going to create a folder for each of these. Okay, I'm going to create a folder for each of them inside my app directory. So I can create a folder for each, and then inside each folder, I'm going to create a page.js for each of them. Okay, so I can just create a folder, call it probably okay, let me just say SE. Let me say SE and inside SE, can create another folder SS, create another folder SW, I'm just giving it a short key, create another folder NC for North Central, and can create another folder MW and NE for Northeast, create another folder FE. Okay, so inside each of them, let's say inside this, I'll have a file called page.jsx. Okay, with RFC. So I'm going to copy this RFC, copy this, copy it. Let me delete this import statement. I don't know, I just don't like it. So inside this NE, I will create a file page.jsx, and I will place that to save it. Inside this too, I will create a file page.jsx. Mind you, my page is lowercase, save it. Inside this, I create a file page.jsx, save it, paste it. So that is pretty much basic. And I will create a file here, page.jsx. Paste it, Control V. Create a file in this one too, called page.jsx. Paste it. So, okay, so I can come inside each one. I will do something. I will create a H1 or H2 rather. So I'm going to rename this to a section. So it's not going to be. I'm going to rename it to section. And I will have a H1, H2 plus the section, and I will call it states in Southwest. So let me just close every other one. So I'm sure if I'm writing at states in Southwest, you can say UL greater than LI times 6. I believe there are 6 states there. So we have Lagos, we have Ogun, we have we have Ekiti, and we have Oyo State. So I'm going to pause the video. When I'm done, we'll continue. So I will show us what I did in every other. So I'll finish building that. You can see page.js. I have this. And if I go to Southwest, I have the states in Southwest, going to Southeast, South is here. I might have mixed these things up anyway, but it's just for us to learn and to understand how these things work. Okay, so you can actually see we built everything. So now this is just a common easy way for us to create a route. So our south is southwest. So if I go to if I navigate to my browser and I just come here and say /SE, I'm going to have it load for me all the states in Southeast. You can see states in Southeast are already showing. Okay, if I say SS, I will have it load for me all the states in South. If I say SW, I will see Southwest states loading again. Okay, you can see it here written here, states in Southwest, right? So if I just do NC, I will have states in North Central loading, and if I say NW, so everything is working. So this is an easy way for you to create a route. Okay, it can help you to easily create a route. So one awesome thing which Next.js is that these things can be located with the folder. So the folders are easily used in routing. Okay. So now I can actually go now and create a route. Instead of me changing this on the browser, doing this, I can actually make this to be a link. Okay. A clickable link that will always take me there. All right, so I come back here and let me go to this page.js, going back to my layout. Okay, my layout sees children, and I go to page.js. I will see zones in Nigeria. It's actually showing here. So so an easy thing I can do is to remove my okay, let me just leave my navbar to be here, and every other page should be able to link to the navbar, so no problem. All right, so I go to the navbar and I can make this now a link by I simply click here, hold the Alt key. Let me just do everything once. So I can click enter, just move up, type link. I will import it. So link is a component that needs to be imported. I will import it and I will close. So I'll just do this, holding my Alt key again, push it down so that it can link every other one. I can come outside and hit enter so I can have space there. Okay, so going inside, I can type href. Remember your href, and I'll simply use this. Okay, so this makes a simple route now. So I can say for SE, for Southwest, it should just take me to SW, the name of the folder. And for Southeast, just take me to SE. For South, take me to SS. For North Central, take me to NC. For Northeast, take me to NE. And for Northwest, take me to NW. So this is pretty much going to work. But back to my layout, let me make these things to appear much better. Let me make it appear much better. So I'm going to wrap this navbar together with the children. So inside the div, or I can call it a main component now. I can put them inside the main and simply bring it inside. So remember, if this is my navbar, actually, I should also have, okay, I have navbar already there. So go back to my layouts. I have the children now. I'm bringing the children, and I can make this thing to be a grid, okay? So in that way, it can be better. I can just simply write my class, and I can simply say display grids. This is Tailwind CSS grid. Cool, just to see my options. Grid cool 2. Okay, so let me just see to be sure that whatever I'm doing, I can actually click. Okay, so this is actually working. If I click on Southeast, taking me to Southwest, South, North Central, Northeast. Okay, so Southeast, South, North Central, Northeast. Okay, so I move back to the home. Okay, move back to the home, and I will have this on in Nigeria. So whenever I click on any of the routes, it is taking me there now. It is bringing me. But I need to style this using my Tailwind CSS so that I can easily create a route within, so I can actually appear much better. So we go ahead and write the normal CSS for that page. You can look at my main, just do my CSS. Okay, so I have this. So the children is always as if it's showing before the navbar. So let me just bring the children before the navbar. So that will actually make this to look this way. So going back to, I will have it like this. The children showing before the navbar. And I need to create a navigation bar that I can use to take myself back to the home page. Okay. So whenever I click on it, it should always take me back to the home page. Right. So I can always call it home. I can always call it home. So I can go to the page address and just kind of include that. Come there, just put a H1, and so I'll call it home. Okay. So with that, I should have home existing here for me. Okay. Right. Okay, so going into the global CSS. So this doesn't mean that I cannot write my normal CSS. I can simply do the home and display grid, and you can say grid template column to repeat 2 by 1 fraction each, that kind of thing. So that is pretty much very easy. Okay, so I can always have it like that, grid column by 1 fraction. So if I click this, I should have it here. So you can always see that display. Okay, Southwest will display states in Southwest for me, and I should have this display here. So, and that one that I put there, it would be nice if I can have that one. Let me go back. That is what contracts. Cut it out and better put it on the nav bar. So I can have it on my navbar, even though I cannot have it inside. My nav component, so I can simply have it. Even if it's not part of my navbar, I can simply put it outside and use a fragment, just a fragment to wrap it. Do that so that it doesn't sit as an error. Use this fragment to wrap my nav components. Right? So this will now be a link. And simply use link and for this link and give it a href that takes me to home. So that's pretty much easy now. Okay. So if I click on it, it will take me to home. So some things are now appearing double, like I imported it double. So I have to go back to my where I picked it from and I saved that file. So probably I did not save it. That's why, yeah, that's why it was appearing double. So if I click on this, I should have the state showing. Okay. And if I go back to home, it should take me back to. So this is becoming a little bit messy because this home and this are appearing as if there are two contradicting things within my nav component. So I need to fix that. Okay, I'll go to my layouts and see the main. So my main has this navbar and the children. So because I'm having this thing here, it actually means that the children are appearing triple, right? So I'm going to fix that. All right, so okay, I have to include the home now as a link, and I have the southwest, all this in being part of the navigation bar. I have the southwest here, the this thing here, and I can see that in our layout we have the children and then the nav bar. So every other thing that is coming from the children should stay on the left hand side. Okay, so that is basically that. All right. So when I go back here, click on home, which takes me to the home page. Okay, so I return to the home page, and so I go to Southeast, it should be able to take me to states in Southeast, Southwest. You can see that this page is practically not loading because it is permanently as if it's on the. Yeah, so that is one thing with rendering. It doesn't load all the pages. It's as if one is not being loaded, but if you look at the address bar, you can see that it is changing based on what any link that I click on. Okay, so I can also include a hover effect on these links, but I don't want us to be going into that. So I will create a different class for CSS and be able to see how these things work. So if I go back to home, I can see how my home page looks like. There is nothing. My home, this side is safe. So well, something will only come out when I click on southeast, south, south, southwest. So that is just a basic explanation on how you can route, yeah, create a route using layouts on Next.js. It's pretty much easier than what you have been doing before in React. So if this thing were to be React, you have to be importing React Router DOM and installing React Router DOM before you import your browser router and your route. So it's pretty much easier what they have introduced. Okay, just using folders with a page component inside them, and you can easily create a route. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.